We asked you, the Outposters, to vote for the best movie bad guy of all time, and the results have been interesting. Some names have appeared down on the list, and some names haven't appeared at all. But here is your top 10. Before we go on, there are some spoilers, but if you haven't seen any of these following movies, then what on earth are you doing on a movie website like the Last Movie Outpost? At number 10. Back in the day, Walt Disney was a movie maker, an innovator, and he pushed the boundaries of his art. People said that he could never make a full-length animated movie. Not only did he do that, but he made an outstanding movie with incredible animation techniques. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs also gave us your number 10, the evil queen who wanted to be the fairest of the land. Not only was the animation scary, or the wonderfully evil voice of Lucille Laverne, but she was quite happy to kill Snow White and keep her ripped out heart in a box.
The heart of a pig, and I've been tricked.
This must have terrified some kids back in the 1930s, because it's still scary today. Your number 9. Highlander hit the screens in 1986 and it became a bit of a cult classic. It was a science fiction magical movie that was set in ancient Scotland.
We've been kinsmen 20 years.
Conan MacLeod was my kinsman. I don't know who you are.
And it had that awesome Queen soundtrack. It also gave way to your number 9, Kurgan. You have to love Clancy Brown in this. I mean, he's not the best looking guy out there, but in this he's even worse. His character is vile, evil, and holds no sanctity for a holy place. He spends his time chasing around Christopher Lambert and trying to cut his head off. And what's even worse, mouthing off to nuns.
Happy Halloween, ladies. I have something to say. It's better to burn out than to fade away.
Number 8. Alien changed horror and science fiction in one wonderful swoop. James Cameron then decided to change the direction for the second movie and gave us not only Aliens, but also your number 8, Carter Burke.
You dogged me, pal.
Burke, played by Paul Razier, was a company man, and to him what mattered was the money, not the lives.
Burke gave instructions that they were to be kept alive in stasis for return to the company labs. He was very specific about it.
He knew, going to the colony, he had to bring back one of the aliens, since he knew it would be worth billions, and he would do it no matter what the cost.
Yes, the only way he could do it is if he sabotaged certain freezers on the way home, namely yours. Then he could jettison the bodies and make up any story he liked.
Your number 7. Another surprise hit of a movie was Leon, also known as The Professional. Directed by Luc Besson, it gave us a story about a professional killer who adopts a young girl. It introduced Natalie Portman, and also, number 7, Gary Oldman as Stansfield. Gary Oldman is one of those actors who never fails to give an outstanding performance, and here he excels as the bad guy.
Bring me everyone. What do you mean everyone?
There is the expression bent cop, but Stansfield was on another level. He led a DEA team and he used his power to take most of the drugs that you would get for the criminals and sell it back to them. What was great about his performance was Stansfield seemed to be a drug user and he was completely psychotic.
I like these calm little moments before the storm.
Number 6. There was something magical about the movie Forrest Gump, not just the fact that it gave hope to those of us who are stupid that we could make it in America,
Stupid or something. Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
but it also gave us our second lady in your list at number 6, Jenny.
Why are you so good to me?
You're my girl.
Okay, so Jenny had a bad upbringing,
Now remember how I told you that Jenny never seemed to want to go home?
but that's no excuse for leaving Forrest on several occasions, treating him like garbage,
You would, Forrest.
But you won't marry me.
only to return to him when he's rich, taking his flower and giving him a child which has got AIDS. The worst part was, she knew that Forrest loved her, but she still friend-zoned him. A lot. Forrest had been through a lot, but when she finally took his flower, she left, he snapped, and ran across the country for 3 years.
Get you! Run, Forrest, run!
Yes, Forrest, run! Run away from Jenny! Number 5. In 1985, I got a skateboard because I wanted to be like Marty McFly. I also wanted a time machine, but I'm still waiting for that. The trilogy of Back to the Future, though, gave us your number 5, Biff Tannen.
Whoa, Biff. What's that?
I think Biff, played by Thomas F. Wilson, was such a great bad guy because we all knew somebody like Biff when we were growing up.
Go get it!
There was always that one kid who was bigger than us, dumber than us, and used to pick on us.
So why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
I remember seeing the movie in the cinema when I was about 10 years old, and I remember this moment so well. The audience erupted. Number 4. Do you remember Sly Stallone when he played Judge Dredd? Yeah, I've tried to forget it as well.
I am the law!
In 2012 though, we had a pretty spectacular remake with Carl Urban, and your number 4, Mama.
Mom, all right.
And she would stop at nothing in getting away, including possibly killing every one of her tenants.
Judgment time.
Nina Headey plays a great bad guy, ask Game of Thrones, but here, she was something else.
Mark of violence.
In third place, the 80s was an awesome time for action movies. You had Arnie, Sly, Van Damme, Bruce. It was great. Bruce Willis was a pretty big name on the US TV, but in 1988, on a visit to Los Angeles to see his wife, he became an international action hero.
You just destroyed a building.
And he fought number 3 on your list, Hans Gruber.
Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
Hollywood has a thing about casting Brits as the bad guy in their movies. Something about the Declaration of Independence I don't know, I'm no expert, but us Brits do make good bad guys. Hans was a great character. He was pure evil and very clever with it. He was also very charismatic and likeable even.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
He certainly made it memorable, since he's number 3.
Yippee-ki-yay,
In second place. In 1977, a young filmmaker called George Lucas, not me, changed cinema forever. He created one of the biggest sci-fi movie franchises ever made, and your number 2, Jar Jar Binks. Nah, I'm only joking. Darth Vader. Before we go on, I'm just going to make this very clear. You voted for the original trilogy Darth Vader. Not Anakin, not the special edition new Vader, but the original. From A New Hope to Empire Strikes Back to Return of the Jedi. A lot of you were very clear on making this point. Not only was Vader evil, huge and just a badass, but the design of him made him one of the most iconic images in cinema. The black mask, no eyes, the cape, the breathing apparatus. It's clear to see why he's number 2 on the best movie bad guy list.
He told me you killed him. No. I am your father.
Your movie bad guy number 1. Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh, I hate her so much. She took my precious Star Wars away from me. As a producer, she's the one who should have made the films flow from one into the other. But she got J.J. Abrams and then Brian Johnson.
I'm so sorry about that. That was number 1 on my list. Number 1 on your list. I like my food. I love a good fry up, a roast, burger and chips. One thing I've never tried though is human flesh. It's very taboo in most parts of the world, and only either really hungry people do it or really, really naughty people do it. Like your number 1 best movie bad guy, Hannibal Lecter. We have had him on the list, but as the Brian Cox version from Manhunter. Number 1 on the list was Anthony Hopkins from Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal and Red Dragon. The first time we meet him in Silence of the Lambs, it's one of the most iconic scenes in cinema history.
Good morning.
All in all, Hannibal is pure evil, menacing and calculating.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
And let's face it, anybody who makes a man eat their own cooked brains is very, very bad.
Let's try it, please.
I would really like some.
It's good.
Well, that's your top 10 movie bad guys according to you, the Outposters. Thank you for everyone who casted a vote, and I hope you enjoyed it. Now we've had a lot of evil and naughtiness, so here are some kittens just to cheer you up so you don't have nightmares.